Who's going to be in the All Elite Wrestling Women's Casino Battle Royale at All Elite Wrestling's All Out? We try to predict it next on the Squared Circle Psychobabble. Hello and welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti. This is Ralph Valenti. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications as we're trying to hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers before All Elite Wrestling's All Out. So Ralph, last week we got the announcement from Brandi Rose that we're going to have a Casino Battle Royale at All Out, but not with men. It's going to be with the women. And some names have already been announced. We know that Brandi herself will be in it. Britt Baker will be in it. Nyla Rose will be in it. Yuka Sakazaki will be in it. Ivelisse, Teal Piper, the daughter of Roddy Piper, and Jazz, a former WWE Women's Champion, former NWA Women's Champion. She'll be in it too. So we got to fill this card up with 21 women. I'm not going to tell you to try to name all 21 women, but I think we could try to guess 2 or 3 possible surprises for the Casino Battle Royale. So you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. And the first one I'm going to start with is somebody who's actually currently already on the AEW roster, but yet to make their AEW debut. And that is Sadie Gibbs. Now, Sadie Gibbs is somebody I remember showing you some of her stuff from like when AEW first was formed, or right before it was formed. And I said, if she doesn't go to AEW, she's somebody that's going to go somewhere and she's going to be a big star someday because she's insanely athletic. She's really good in the ring and somebody that I think has a lot of upside and promise. We haven't seen her debut in AEW yet, and I think what better way to kind of to have her come out and make her debut than in the Battle Royal. So I'm going to say Sadie Gibbs makes her debut. And I think she's going to be a major player in AEW.
I totally agree with Sadie Gibbs, but here's how I was thinking of this, trying to predict these women, okay? I was assuming that outside of the Kongs, Aja Kong and Awesome Kong, because I predict them as one of the 3 matches that have not been announced yet for All Out. If you haven't seen that, I'll put the eye above my head and the link in the description below for the other 2 matches that I predicted. So I don't think they're going to be in this match.
Okay.
So also adding to this, anyone that has had a match in AEW so far, there's 2 women that have not been announced or that have been announced for the roster but have not had matches yet. And those 2 are, as you mentioned, Sadie Gibbs, and the other one is Penelope Ford.
Yes.
So I totally see her in the Casino Battle Royale. So, and then we also have the 3 that were announced, Teal Piper, Jazz, and Ivelisse. So I think there's only 3 women that could potentially be in this match that have not been announced and are not part of the AEW roster yet. One of those I think we could agree on because she is, however you want to take this, figuratively or literally, the hottest free agent in professional wrestling, at least for women, and that is Scarlet Bordeaux.
Definitely agree with that. Obviously, she had her falling out with TNA, and she hasn't signed with anybody. She's doing more of the independent stuff right now. She's too big of a name not to be considered for AEW or to be in this right now. So,
right.
I agree 100%. I think that Scarlet Bordeaux will be in the Battle Royal. Whether we get the announcement beforehand or it's a surprise entrant the night of, I'm not sure, but I definitely think we see her there.
I totally could see her being the Shawn Spears announcement. Like, right. Shawn Spears was announced the Wednesday before Double or Nothing, and that was right when his contract or his 90-day no-compete ended with WWE. Now, I don't think she has to deal with that with TNA, but if she does, I think it would be kind of close because she was I think she was granted her release pretty close to Double or Nothing, or a little after Double.
Afterwards.
I can't remember exactly when she was released off the top of my head right now, but I could totally see her being that, okay, if she has a 90-day, it's up. So let's announce her as being a part of the Casino Battle Royale. Or I could totally see her being the Joker in this one. Obviously they don't have the person to fall back on like they did last time with Hangman Page to be, oh, well, he's the Joker, he's winning. This one here, I guess you can make it Britt Baker as the Joker and let her win. But I think if they do that, it's just as predictable as when Hangman was in it. And you don't want predictability in their first 2 Casino Battle Royales, and it will kind of lose the prestige of the match. One that I'm gonna say the name, although I wouldn't be surprised if she's in it, but I'm not banking on her being in it. Tessa Blanchard.
And that's something I considered too, but
considering
look, TNA let her perform at All In. Now that wasn't
that was a lot of women too.
I know,
A lot of people.
and that wasn't an AEW show. But if she's going to be contracted still to TNA afterwards, which she is, I think having her in that match only helps the TNA TNA as a company.
Right, but then why didn't they let Brian Cage in it when he was supposed to be in the Casino Battle Royale?
And I'm just speculating here. I mean, there's a chance because, they've let their stars work outside of TNA before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to let them go to AEW and perform because, again, direct competition and all that type of stuff. But maybe, probably not, but maybe.
Now, obviously, there is the connection with Tully Blanchard, who is going to be at going to be at All Out, being in Shawn Spears' corner, and I believe Magnum TA is Cody's godfather. So. And that is Tessa Blanchard's stepfather. So there's obviously a connection there for Tessa to come to All Out. But again, it all depends on whether or not TNA will give her the blessing to do it. And I honestly do not see them, if they didn't let their champion Brian Cage do it, I don't think they're going to let who arguably could be their top draw in Impact, Tessa Blanchard, be in there too.
I just watched her second match against Sami Callihan, which was a good match, but she... just as a performer, she's so damn good.
Yes.
I mean, whether she winds up in AEW or WWE at some point, or NXT, wherever she ends up going, she's got a really bright future ahead of her.
To me, I think she's the best women's wrestler in the world.
I probably agree with that.
I mean, you could make the argument for Charlotte, but I think Tessa's better.
I think her...
Not by much.
I think at some point, we have to have the Charlotte-Tessa match. It just has to happen somewhere, maybe WrestleMania, elsewhere. I don't know, but...
I agree.
It happened.
Now, speaking of Tessa, this just came into my head. Didn't even think about this before we recorded, so I'm throwing this out there. You can shake your head and say, absolutely not. But what about Gail Kim?
I didn't even think of that either, to be honest with you. But no, maybe, yeah. That could be.
Because, they might have that. I mean, we saw Tommy Dreamer in there. We saw Glacier in there. So there were guys that were retired or semi-retired from wrestling. So Gail Kim, who just recently had a match with Tessa a few months ago, maybe she comes in as someone that they bring in as like, oh my God, it's Gail Kim.
Yeah.
Good surprise. But any other surprises?
I am going to say this, and I'm only going to say it because it's probably something that people want to see. I don't know if we're going to see it, but I'm going to throw it out there. So AJ Lee. And the reason I'm going to throw AJ's name out there is for a few reasons. One, unlike interviews that CM Punk has done to date, she essentially did an interview and she was like, well, never say never. I'm not going to say no if the right opportunity came about. Well, I'm not, and that's not her exact words, but essentially that was the bottom line. She said, never say never. And if you're AEW and you're trying to reach out to CM Punk, I got to imagine they're probably they would still try to go after a talent like her.
Yeah.
I mean, a name like her, being in WWE, having as much notoriety, she could really help establish that division. Whether it's a one-off or she decides to stay there for a little bit,
right.
I think it'd be more likely that it would be a one-off. But why the hell not? If you're going after CM Punk, why wouldn't you go after AJ Lee?
If she comes as the Joker, I think the pop for that would be very close to if CM Punk showed up.
Well, she would get a huge reaction.
Huge reaction.
Yeah. Her or Tessa, I think that'd be about an equal type of reaction. But yeah, I mean, the whole reason battle royals are fun or Royal Rumbles is for the surprise entrance, and they're going to have to try to get some type of surprises. And I can't imagine they're not going to try to go after some former WWE talent or like a Gail Kim or Tessa Blanchard if they can even make that happen. But, like I said, if you're going after CM Punk, why the hell wouldn't you go after AJ Lee?
Right. And I think with the women's Casino Battle Royale, I think it's going to be much more important to get some former names from WWE, because when you talk about independent wrestling, you don't really talk about some of the women, Yeah, you hear a little bit about Tessa Blanchard and you hear about Taya Valkyrie, but then, or Scarlet Bordeaux, but then it kind of falls after that.
The part of the problem with that is this. Women's wrestling, the whole Divas revolution or this whole movement with trying to have women be in the main event really started the women's evolution probably in WWE maybe 5 years ago. Right before AJ left. So that's when it started. And yeah, there's established female wrestlers, but not really at the level that they perform at now. And I don't mean that as like a knock on any of the previous female wrestlers, but back when the Attitude Era, you had female wrestlers, but there was really, it was more so like more TNA and more about like bra and panty type matches, unless you were like Lita or Trish Stratus or somebody like that, Chyna. It was more, filler type stuff. They weren't expected to main event.
You just got me another name that we could throw out there.
Francine, Dawn Marie.
No.
Nicole Bass.
Someone that could actually... Nicole Bass is dead. Oh. No. Victoria.
Yep.
Why not Victoria? I think she's still wrestling in the independents somewhere, or someone that just came back for WWE. I know she's been running the independents for a while, but what about Melina?
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities. I love it. So let us know in the comments below what you think. Who will be in the Casino Battle Royale? Will it be Tessa Blanchard? Will we see AJ Lee? Or maybe some indie darling that Ralph and I don't know yet. Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it all over social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SCPB Podcast. Subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications as we're trying to hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers before All Elite Wrestling's all out. For Ralph Valenti, my name's Michael Valenti. Thank you for watching the Squared Circle Psychobabble.